Hi there. So today I want to talk to you about inherited syphilis. Who doesn't love to talk about inherited syphilis? But it is probably the most prevalent miasm. It's the one I see the most. And like I said last week, we as a society are moving from a carcinosin state into a syphilis state. So syphilis is all about self-destruction, all about destruction. That's sort of the theme. And I'll talk about that in a second, but first, my name is Stacey and I'm a Heilkunst practitioner and creator of the Express Your Truth 8-Step Emotional Empowerment Program. And I've been doing a series on the chronic miasms. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link to that video here if you want to see that before you start this video. Otherwise, let's get into inherited syphilis. So like I said, it's all about destruction. And so, like I said, as a society, we're moving into that. And it's kind of like the silver lining of it. So it will tear down the things, erode the things that aren't working so that we can rise up and change that. So, this will happen to us on a personal level and also collectively. So right now we're shifting into this collectively, and you can see that in what's going on in 2020. All of these sort of corrupt organizations are being illuminated because so many of our institutions are based on corruption and they cannot continue. And so that's where the destructiveness of syphilis comes in. And so on an individual level, it's all about, like I said, destruction. And so if alcoholism or drug abuse runs in your family, chances are you have inherited syphilis. And so with inherited syphilis, there is a pessimistic way of thinking. There's sort of that feeling of just, screw it, let everything crash down around you. So let's take a basic example. Say you are trying to eat healthy, you're trying to take care of your body, and inherited syphilis season comes along, and so that'll be the beginning of summer where that starts to come along, and you'll be like, oh, screw it, I'm gonna binge on sugar, or I'm gonna, go out binge drinking. I actually have one client who I always know when inherited, he's like my inherited syphilis barometer. I always know when it's hit because he starts to go out and binge drink. And so that is definitely very self-destructive and falls within the realm of inherited syphilis. And there can also be sort of a paranoia of germs. So a person with a lot of inherited syphilis will wash their hands a lot, like they don't like to touch public doorknobs, or they have a thing about money because of all the germs on money, things like that. They'll also be, they'll wonder, oh, did I turn off the stove? Did we turn off the stove? Did we lock the door? Those types of things. And so on the physical level, things like scoliosis, osteoporosis, crumbling teeth, and then also, like I said, alcoholism and drug abuse, addiction, things like that. And a lot of times mental illness can be linked to inherited syphilis, and also the fear of insanity can be linked to inherited syphilis. So if you relate to inherited syphilis, I would love to hear from you. Please comment below. If you like this video, please give me a like. It helps to get my message out there. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel and ring that little bell, and you'll get a notification when I put out my next video. And next week, I'm going to be talking about inherited Lyme. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next week.